Hello and welcome to another Business Spotlight interview. Today I have Alex Drummond of Drummond Finance. So thank you very much, Alex, for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for inviting me, Mark.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Alex, and tell us a little bit about Drummond Finance as well.
Sure. So, Drummond Finance are a firm of commercial finance brokers. We source and secure all types and sizes of commercial lending for all types and sizes of businesses. Uh, we set the business up in 2018. Specifically, my background is in commercial banking, and my career is in commercial banking. And we were seeing more and more businesses getting managed out of call centers, more and more businesses losing their local contact in terms of their bank, didn't know who to speak to, didn't know who to go to. So we wanted to set up a business which had local, accessible, face-to-face, experienced banker able to help businesses through the funding process.
Excellent, excellent. And how has that journey been so far then, up until now, from 2018?
It's been it's like any business, I guess. You sit down and you write a business plan on day one, and you think this is how it's going to go, and then it goes in all different directions, and you get all different issues coming up that obviously you hadn't planned for. I guess the big issue that we faced was COVID. We were set up as a business that was very face to face, was the key part of it. And then COVID came in, and that looked like it was going to restrict our ability to do that. We then found, obviously, Zoom, video calls, and actually, COVID was great because it actually, through the video calls, we were actually able to expand the geography in terms of the areas that we dealt with. We also were in an environment where businesses were obviously looking for help and looking for support through the government schemes. So we probably didn't anticipate being as busy as we were through COVID, but we were in an environment where the banks just couldn't cope with the level of volumes that they were coming through. So we were doing an awful lot in terms of supporting businesses through that process with their bank, or if their bank couldn't support them with an alternative funder. So that was really important to us. And then you get back on a level playing field, and then you have things like the way economy's gone in the last 9 months with interest rates, uncertainties in Aberdeen, obviously, oil, you've got the green issues. So there's constant challenges for businesses, but these challenges present opportunities for us because people need support.
Yeah, excellent. You've taken a tough situation for everyone. You started off talking about COVID-19, in 2020. But you said that the opportunities come with that. You were then able to expand and speak to more people using Zoom. So that's brilliant. And just there, what you said there about the last 9 months in this country in particular have been really tough. And then just last week, the Bank of England raised the interest rates again. So can you maybe tell us a little bit more about that, as how that is going to look out for the country in the sort of next year with those interest rates going up then?
Well, I think the main challenge has been that we've been in a very low interest rate environment for a very long time. So, what probably wasn't the norm in terms of where rates were became the norm and became the expectation, and deals were done on that basis. Some of these deals are now due for renewal, repayment, having to be repriced. So that's bringing challenges because clients have had an expectation of where the price would be, and the price isn't there anymore. And again, just because of the challenges in terms of interest rates, then the lenders have become more cautious in terms of where the interest rate's going to go. So that's all made it a lot more difficult in terms of funding. But I've always said if it was easy, people wouldn't need us, so people come to us because they're finding it difficult. Mm-hmm. So again, that does create opportunities for us as well. So it is a bit of a double-edged sword, Mark. I just wish it was a bit easier than it is at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that would agree with you there. What does it have any sort of impact on you as a business owner, and what sort of challenges does that bring then? These sort of financial, I suppose, issues that you sort of said.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge it brings us is that some deals just don't add up for clients. So clients may, a deal that we were maybe looking at 12 months ago, when base rate was 0.1, and it's on the table now at base rate of 4.5. The clients have to give some serious thought to, is this the deal they want to do? Does this deal add up for them? And obviously, if they don't want to do the deal and the deal doesn't add up for them, then obviously that's business that we're not doing. And then if the client wants to do the deal, we've then got to persuade the lender to do the deal. And does the lender want to do the deal, and what price are they going to do it at, and what concerns have they got of the current economic environment? So everything is kind of, I don't think we're any different from a lot of businesses over the last 9 months. Everything seems to have slowed down. Everything's taking longer, and that's okay because there are big decisions getting made. But obviously, when we're looking at our cash flow and looking at planning for what the next 3 or 6 months will look at, it's a lot more difficult to forecast.
Yeah. Understandably, yeah. Okay then. What has been, so you talked about some of these challenges that you've gone through and everything, but you've overcome them. But so from that, what has been the biggest learning from those, and your biggest learning as a business owner as well?
I think the biggest learning is that nothing's happening until it's happened. Right? So there are so many occasions where on all sides of the table, whether it was from the client, the lender, or myself as a broker, there was a certainty that this deal was going to happen. There was a certainty in the timescale this deal was going to happen, and then some curveball comes in. And as I say, we've seen curveballs in terms of COVID. We've seen curveballs in terms of the economic picture. We see curveballs in terms of legislation. There are constantly curveballs. So that's the biggest learning is that a deal is not done until it's signed, sealed, and even if it's signed and sealed, it's not done until it's delivered.
Yep. Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely agree with you there. You started in 2018, now you're 5 years down the line then. What are your aspirations for your company for the next 5 years?
I do have a business plan, and I did a business plan on day one. And that business plan had 4-year goals and 8-year goals, and it was interesting because some of the 4-year goals I didn't do, but that was through choice. But I had the choice to do them, so that was quite good to revisit that. I'm still working towards what 5 years ago were 8-year goals. Right? I've not yet looked beyond that, to be honest with you, Mark. But maybe this calls a prompt to do that. I think I enjoy supporting businesses. I enjoy helping people make deals happen. So my aspiration is to continue to enjoy it, continue to work with good people and good clients, and maybe personal aspiration, maybe a little bit of cutting some of the time down, cutting some of the hours. I mean, I think I've got the work-life balance pretty good, but I would probably like still to swing a little bit more towards life.
Yeah, again, totally agree with what you're saying there. Absolutely. Yeah, you kind of talked a little bit about your goals. It's good to have a business plan. You've had 4-year, 8-year plan and everything, and you had some goals. How many of those goals did you meet then, and how many are maybe you'd still like to do that, or as maybe some of the goals, have they changed along the way?
Yeah, I think some of the goals have changed along the way because inevitably the business that I imagined on day one is not the business that you end up with. So there's there has to be a flexibility within that plan, right? And that wasn't a surprise that there was movement, because I've spent 30 years working with business plans, right? So I had business plans in terms of here's what I wanted from the business, and I had business plans in terms of here's what I wanted for the business, and here's what I wanted from the business. So there was personal plans there, as well as corporate plans. So yeah, I've ticked quite a few of these boxes. There's a few boxes that I didn't tick through choice. 3 or 4 years down the line, that wasn't as important as I thought it was going to be. But I think this is a good call actually to make me go and start to think we visit things. I am very passionate about a business plan. When I was in the bank, I saw a lot of business plans, and they were done for the purpose of the bank rather than for the purpose of the business. And sometimes I'd go back and I'd visit a client 12 or 18 months later, and things maybe hadn't worked out as they planned. And I was like, well, what about this, and this that you had in your business plan? And they're like, oh, it's, they'd gone to the bank, got the loan, and then the business plan had gone into the bottom of the drawer. Whereas to me, the business plan, should always be, even, there's some good stuff in the business plan. Pick it up and remind you sometimes of, oh, wow, yeah, I forgot about that. Right, I need to go back and do a bit more of that, and maybe do a bit of less of this.
Yeah. Excellent. Again, I'm glad. It's funny how this interview kind of gave you a little bit of food for thought and everything.
Yeah.
But you're successful. You've got a very good business going here. What? But you're still fairly young. 2018 wasn't that long ago. So my last question then for you, if you were to, inspire any business owner, anyone who's wanting to start up a new business, then what advice would you give them? What's been the biggest thing that's really helped you get from 2018 to 2023, where we are now?
I think it's important to have people around you who you can rely on in terms of having a coffee with, picking up the phone, just bouncing things off, because it can be quite lonely, right? And you will face issues that you haven't faced before, but they tend to be issues that other people have faced before, right? So sometimes, I've found it useful that I'm lucky. I've got good friends around me, and some of these, and a good friend isn't always a friend who says yes all the time, or you're doing a great thing, Alex. Sometimes a friend, has that, you need that critical voice, or you need that, what you're doing. You need huge, I've got huge support from my wife, and she's very good in terms of saying, well, wait a minute, what about this, this, and this? So I think that support network is huge, because it can be quite lonely. And yeah, look around you, listen, take advice.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Alex. I think that people that are going to watch us, are going to come away with some very good advice from yourself, especially when it comes to business planning. You were saying there, and I was writing down some very good things that you said there. I love the nothing's happened till it happens. I really like that. And then just what you said there, I agree with you. Surround yourself with good people. Absolutely. And everything again you just said there, some great pieces of advice there for anyone, whether they're new in a business or been running a business for a long time. So Alex, it's been great having you. It really has. So thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
All right, thank you very much for watching. Bye.
Thank you.